Hey y'all, welcome to Freedom Makers. I'm Amanda, and today we're going to talk about what to do if you cannot get to a doctor. Why would that happen? Well, this is kind of a preparedness-ish channel. We talk about canning, we talk about food storage, we talk a lot about what you would do in a situation where you couldn't have modern convenience. Knowing what you would do ahead of time in certain situations is very beneficial because you'll be able to just automatically switch to that. And you'll know what your plan is, what you're doing. Your family will know what your plan is and what you're doing. You won't have to stop and think about things if something happens or something goes wrong. You can already have a plan. And I just feel like that's just as good an idea when you're talking about medical care as it is if you were talking about a fire. So just like you would talk to your kids about fire safety, medical care is just as important. If your children have respiratory issues or specific allergies to different foods, those are things that you talk to them about, right? Those are things that they know to either avoid or they know what to do if something should happen. If they have a reaction to something, if your child has to deal with that, then that's something that you probably commonly talk about. It's very important to me to be self-reliant and to know just to have that education and know what to do should things go wrong. I know what my family's issues are. I myself have respiratory issues, so I know what herbs would help me. We specifically look toward essential oils because it's something that I can stock that's not going to expire. A lot of people in like the prepper community recommend fish antibiotics and things of that nature and to stockpile those. The issue there is that they expire very quickly and you can't stockpile a large amount. With essential oils, I don't have to worry about that, and I can practice with them now. So I know how to use my oils. I have learned about the safety of oils. I know how to implement those into our healthcare plan. We aren't crazy people. We still use modern medicine. I just had a surgery because I had some issues that I couldn't tackle any other way. I had to have some things removed that were just causing a lot of problems and just were causing a burden in my life. And so I'm not discounting modern medicine in any way. It's not one or the other. For me, it's both. I feel like in a lot of situations, I would want medical care. If I break my leg, y'all, I ain't setting that bad boy myself. I'm going to a hospital. However, about 80% of the issues that we have in our home can be taken care of at home with the proper education and knowing how to take care of your own body. So that's kind of what this video is about. I want you guys to realize that things may not always exist as they are. And so if you're ever in a situation where you can't receive medical care, you need to know what to do. Recently here in our community, a young person perished because it took 45 minutes for the ambulance to arrive and they had a serious condition and they didn't make it because the ambulance just, we're really far out in the country and it just didn't make it in time, and it's really sad. But things like that happen every single day. To avoid things like that, because we are in the country, I do make sure that we have backups and backups for our backups. I'm not saying that those parents didn't. I'm just saying that it's something that we need to make sure we're very aware of, especially if you're in a rural setting. It could take a while for an ambulance to get there, and so if you know you have a certain health condition, you need to be prepared in that area. Other than first aid and having oils and having the knowledge that you can keep in your head, I think it's also very important to keep reference books and materials on hand. This is one of my favorites, Survival Medicine. It has great illustrations so that if somebody were to come here or something was wrong with me, they could tackle things instead. So I have a lot of things in my head. There are a lot of things that I know, but if someone else comes upon a situation and they're like, I don't know this, they can look at our bookshelf and say, hey, I have some references here. So be sure you have a good stock of very well illustrated medical reference books. Earlier I also mentioned essential oils. I thought I'd point out a few things because I have been getting a lot of questions about oils. This is a 15 milliliter bottle. It has approximately 250 drops in it. That means that I can use it theoretically 250 times. So having this on my shelf and having multiples of the things that I use regularly is very helpful because, like I said, they're not going to go bad unless they're in heat or direct sunlight. And I don't have to worry about them like I would an antibiotic. A lot of preppers stock up on things like QuikClot. QuikClot is great, but it has a limited amount of uses and it's very, very expensive. But in our family, we have Hill Chrism instead because I feel like it's much more cost effective. And that little 5 ml bottle I can use up to 80 times. And so I feel like that is a better way to use our money. We do have a prepping budget in our family. You want to make sure and use that to the best of your ability. And so I feel like essential oils are definitely the way to go because they are very cost effective. You're going to pay some money up front, but it's going to last such a long time. Eventually, I plan to do a video where I just share all of my medical issues and how I used to be on 14 different daily medications and now I don't take one, and how I've used essential oils and natural remedies to support my body so that I don't need the healthcare that I used to think I needed. I can take care of things at home now, and to me that means the world because I don't have to rely on the system that I can see is failing. Medical care is not what it used to be. It's not what it should be. And just to have the things that I need to take care of things at home gives me a lot of peace of mind. Using essential oils in our daily health care has also taught me a lot about herbs. So now I know exactly how to use a lot of different herbs that are out in my yard. We're not just preppers, we are prepsteaders. And so a lot of the things that I use in essential oil form I also have in my yard. A minute ago you saw my rosemary. I had the bottle in my hand. That is one of my all-time favorites, but I also have 2 bushes in the yard that I can use should these run out. That's something that a lot of people are concerned about. Well, what would I do if I didn't have those oils anymore? Well, I definitely recommend having a stockpile of them and knowing how to use them, but also as you're learning to use those oils, you're going to know better how to use the herbs in your yard. So now I know there are a million different ways to use rosemary, whereas before I kind of just thought it was to season chicken. So it's definitely helped me to broaden my horizons and learn more. Like I said, knowledge is the one thing that can never be taken away from you. And if you have these things in your head and you know how to use things and you have practical experience with them, then that's the best way because then it's always with you. So reference books are great. You definitely need those. But you also need to have practical experience and knowledge in your head. Anything can happen at any time. And we never know what the future holds. And so I feel like it's very, very important. It's imperative, especially as parents, to make sure that we can deal with things at home should anything happen. If you would like to benefit from the 6 years I have in natural alternatives and essential oil education, check out the description box below. I have a lot of links down there. I recently recorded a crash course that you guys can just click on and I send you the video. And you can take that. I also have my email listed down below, so if you guys have any questions or concerns or want to hop on the phone with me, email me, and I am more than happy to do that. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you and your family have a plan. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video.